I think we're not going to go to that real quick because I think that's what Ali was saying about modeling, right? The modeling that's going on, the lack of in our houses, right? But I want to go to delusion. Why are modern day women delusional? Where did this delusion begin? And why are their peers strong enough to tell them the truth? Like, hey, maybe you need to lose weight, sis, or maybe you need to be less assertive. We don't want to say masculine because I know how that triggers people. We want to say assertive. Or maybe you are not qualified for that man you want. Like, have you ever told a lady, a sister, a cousin that they're not qualified for the man they're pursuing? And I want to hear the reaction. Okay, Ali, lead the way. Talk to me. Talk about delusion. Delusion, then answer that question, please.
Whoo, buddy. Okay. So, well, a lot of young women gathered around with other young women. They try to get advice from them. And this stuff goes on from middle school. From middle school, you start going to your girlfriends, well, what does a man think? But a lot of these women are clueless. And then you have to look at their mothers, aunts, and things like that. You just have to look at what's the well-being of the family, right? But I did talk to one of my girlfriends, and she wants a man, will not really voice that. I think is surrounded by a few more feminist women. But I told her what's in the way is really her weight. Since I've known her, she's become factually morbidly obese, and I care about her. Women lose at the end of the day when it comes to body positivity because she's the one that's going to have a heart attack. I don't want that for her. So I told her that that's why you can't have a man. But then she'll turn around and tell me, well, I know a woman who has a personality and she's thinking she got a man. I'm like, okay, well then why isn't it you? Ooh. Why isn't it you?
Wait. So, hold on. Yeah? Hold on, Ali. That's a little bit spicy. I didn't expect that coming from you. I expect that coming from Kim and Jen, but not you. Hold on. Why don't you have a... Now, Ali, I love this. I love this interview. So you said what again? I want to make sure you said what?
Yeah, comments.
Well,
right.
Well, she knows women who are thick, have a personality, have a good man. And then my question is, why isn't it you? A lot of women, when they want to look around, well, my girl, I know, we all know a tall Asian. Okay, we know one. But who are you? You average or not? Right? Let's start right there. Because that's how I addressed it. I was average. I was overweight. I was not happy. I was depressed. You know, I got my life in order, got my figure together, got a clean bill of health from the mental health doctor. And, you know, then I went forward and all of a sudden, look at that. I have a really quality dude in front of me. It's almost like it works. Anyway, that's my sass. There you go.
Wow.
I'm Puerto Rican. I told you.
That was kind of sassy. That's the nickname, Sassy Alley. What are we going to call you?
Can I tag in, King?
Of course, Kim, and then Jen. Of course, Kim.
Hey, Allie. How are you? Nice to meet you.
I'm good. Excited to see you. Love the lipstick. I'm a fan.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your story. So I have a question, and you brought up a point, and I want to try to connect it to a point that was previously made. Basically, in my opinion, what you just said was that you focused on yourself. You were real with like where you were and what your outcomes were. And you understood that like the outcomes you were getting were not the ones you want. So now, did you do that for the relationship, or did you just do that because you wanted to be a better person and you wanted to feel better? And then the relationship was the byproduct of you doing your personal work.
Gosh, how can I word this? So I will be transparent. I had a childhood where I was exposed to a lot of physical assault. When something like that happens to you over a decade, it really rewires your brain. That is what is commonly known as PTSD. I prefer PTS, post-traumatic stress, because ain't no disorder. That's how you're supposed to react with somebody beating you up, okay? Right? Yeah. So I ended up, I didn't know what it was. I just knew I was always like very quirky, fidgety, very like on guard. Okay, so then cue the divorce. And I still have this problem that's undiagnosed. I don't understand what's going on. I just, I'm different. Then I meet my fiance, and then it just hits me in the face. If I don't get this together, we are not going to work. And I love him, and I want to be with him. Now, did it benefit me by proxy? Yes. Now, there were steps along the way that I took because, for example, I had to lose weight already for the military, so I did that myself, and I really enjoyed that. That's how I found out that working out was going to work for me. I had been working out on and off through this because I already found out that was a good coping skill. Right. But he's a by proxy of some side quests, But the main quest that I went on, it was largely in part because of him, because I wanted to keep him.
Okay. So now at any point, I guess, in that process, just kind of identifying the reasons why you made the change. Do you think it's problematic that you made it for a person and not for yourself? Or do you think that like it's still the same great outcome because making the change for him helped you to elevate? Like, is it more about the intent of change, or is it more about the outcome of like what happened and what you gained from making those changes?
I think it was more timing. I happened to meet him right around the time when it seemed like I needed to get my life together. I was going to get it together anyway. I'm a very goal-oriented woman. I can't stay still. I have to progress. I had an autoimmune disease, and I went from being stuck in bed to running a half marathon. I love living life. I always wanted to have a better life, regardless of if a man was there or not. But he just happened to be right on time, and God was looking at me like, you got to do some work. And I said, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So
Okay.
can we say manifestation? Manifestation?
No.
She's like,
And
no, it's hard work. It's hard work. It's hard work.
I want to thank me. No days off me.
Yeah, okay. So Jen, go back to the question in regards to delusion from women in regards to courting, dating, and have you ever told one of your friends, oh, damn, I know you're about to go. Have you ever told one of your friends you don't deserve the man you want, or you can't get the man you want?
Yes. I'm that friend. You love me because you hate me, and you hate me because you love me. I'm that friend. I'm going to tell you how it is, especially if I care about you or I see something in you, because we don't even have to be friends. But if I'm trying to tweak your life or something about you, is because something about you intrigues me or I care about you. Otherwise, if I don't care, I say nothing to you, right? I say, it's like, do your life. But my very, very best friend, actually, she was drinking a lot. She was a little heavy. And she had a boyfriend, and they were having problems. And I was like, her name was Veronica. I called her Ronnie. I was like, Ronnie, this man, he's out there in the world, in the workforce. He's seeing beautiful women all the time who got it going on, who are working, who are financially stable. Like, aren't you nervous about losing him and just being the way that you are? Like, I told her that, like, doesn't it make you nervous? Like, I didn't tell her, oh, you're fat and ugly. And I was just like, listen, you're always, pining for this relationship and wanting more. And you're saying he's ignoring you, or, it's like he's out there in the world. I'd be nervous as a woman to not be at my best. I spoke about this before. I'd be nervous as a woman to not be at my best and know that my man is out there. So yeah, I did tell her. She ended up losing him. They broke.
No happy end? Okay.
No happy ending. No. They ended up breaking up. I love the question that Kim asked, because I went to anger management. I volunteered. It wasn't court mandated. It was that I went. And I didn't do it for a man, but sometimes someone close to you suggests something, right? And when you care about them, you're like, okay, you're like the third person I care about that mentioned this thing, and you're absolutely right. So I went and fixed it myself. It's not always fixed. Do not test me, y'all. But I went and I said, I need help for this. I need to fix this. So I love your question, Kim, because it was for the greater good of me, regardless of who I'm with after the fact. You know what I mean? I'm a slower burn now. I'm still a burn, but I'm a slower burn, where before I was like 0 to 100. You know what I mean? 2.5 seconds. So it's important that you do things for yourself, but sometimes the person you love will be like, hey, what is that? What is that?
Kim, have you ever told a soror, because she's an amazing sorority, have you ever told a best friend or family member, you're not going to get the man you deserve?
In so many words, I have. Because again, not to diminish relationships at all. I think relationships are so important. I love them. But I told them some advice based on just them not getting the outcomes they wanted, because I feel they weren't getting the relationship they wanted because they were not the person they wanted, right? There were some personality things there. There were some active listening things that were not happening. So I was just like, hey, you're kind of contentious and you have these contentious conversations with men. is that working for you or is it not? Because you can still say what you've got to say and be opinionated, but it's like the way you say it and when you say it and like how you offer it. I think I said last night that you can get more bees with honey than you can with vinegar. And, you know, I think it's possible to spread honey on a lot of what we say. You know, sometimes we do got to put some vinegar on it. Sometimes it's got to be hot and spicy.
Okay.
It just is what it is. But like, I've absolutely had that conversation and it went over well. But again, I did it from the framework of you're having relationship issues, but you're also having issues at work. You're also having issues with our other friends. You're also having issues, you know, with people within your family. So kind of fixing this one thing, tweaking it a little bit is going to get you outcomes in several aspects of your life. Like that's kind of the up-leveled approach, like looking at how you can make a change in one aspect or one part of your life and how it can just like affect everything.
Right. So I want to go back to Ali. And you said that I'm taking notes. I don't ever take notes. This is what Jen does before she starts cooking up. When you see Jen start writing, then she go cook up. But you said you used the word criticism when you described delusion. And are women open to real criticism, or do they like to be cuddled by their friends? Because what I'm hearing, like what you and Kim said the same thing, but it was different tones. Totally different. Like Jen was the perfect combination of both. Like I'm going to tell you something, but I'm going to hit you where it hurts, but I'm going to say it nice, right? Kim is all the way nice. You went straight for the jugular, Sassy Ali. You went straight for the jugular. And why do you feel that? Do you feel that women can't take criticism and the tough criticism that's required for change?
I don't think so. I'm sorry. This is just my opinion. I also coach women. I am also keenly aware that I would probably make a lot more money if I told them what they wanted to hear. That's how you make profit. That's why we have a lot of these fake femininity influencers right now. Like, oh, do this, this, and this to get a man. All right, honey, where's the ring? Where's the marriage? Where's the experience? Kevin, he done been there, did that, was married 2 times. Also, he's around these men. Right. He knows what they want. And so he's got like the experience for it. But some of these other women, I think they're really just faking the funk, and the women are eating it up because it feels good. But I've had problems. And this is why I say pathological women, where I will go up to a girlfriend and she's already ready to curse me out. And sometimes I get worried about getting hit. And I know that's exaggerative. I think it really depends on like where you grow up from. But some women just, they can't handle it. And I have a hard time too, receiving criticism just from my man. And he loves me and he takes care of me and supports me and wants me to succeed in many ways. But that's even hard for me. But there's been studies that show very intense female in-group preference. In-group preference is when you're very kind and accommodating and welcoming to people that are similar to you. Sometimes they look like you. Sometimes they share DNA. Sometimes y'all are in the same social groups. Could be political, could be religious. But women have this very intense urge to agree and side with other women. The reasons why, I mean, well, there's a couple, but that's just something that we do. And even though I do give it to women straight, it's because I need them to know that there's real world consequences. That's why I had to change my life, because I was looking real cold, real hard at being childless and unmarried. And I don't want that to happen to me. So sometimes you got to be real with them, especially if they ain't got a father around. Women are not as honest, right? Not all women. Jen seems to have it. And I also try to couch it as well for women, because if you come off too strong, they can't digest it. If somebody and that's all people. I hate having to break this down to just women. This is really just social psychology. Most people don't like to be confronted with things that are going to hurt their self-esteem. That's in general. So anyway, that's pretty much what I got on it. It's not just women. It's a lot of people. They don't want to hear the truth. But if you love someone, do it from a place of love. You usually can't go wrong. That's why when I talk to women about their weight, I just tell them, hey, I don't want you at risk for comorbidities and negative health outcomes. I love you. I want you to be around.